Hey guys, it's Jennifer from Live, Laugh, Love to Read. So today I'm doing a book review on two books that go together by Victoria Helen Stone. And the first one is Jane Doe, and the second one is Problem Child. So here's what it looks like. The first one. And I'm going to give the first one, I think, 4.5 stars. Yeah, I really liked it. I think I'm going to give Problem Child 4 stars. And that's only because I started reading it immediately after I finished the first one. And so I kind of felt like I was still in the same story. But it wasn't as good. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. It wasn't as good. Okay, it says, a double life with a single purpose. Revenge. Jane's days at a Midwest insurance company are perfectly ordinary. She blends in well, unremarkably pretty in her floral print dresses and extra efficient at her low-level job. She's just the kind of woman middle manager Stephen Hepsworth likes. Meek, insecure, and willing to defer to a man. No one has any idea who Jane really is, least of all Stephen. But plain Jane is hiding something, and Stephen's bringing out the worst in her. Nothing can distract Jane from going straight for his heart, allowing herself to be seduced into Stephen's bed, to insinuate herself into his career and his family, and to expose all his dirty secrets. It's time for Jane to dig out everything that matters to Stephen, so she can take it all away, just as he did to her. And then Problem Child says, after a brutal childhood, Jane Doe has been permanently wired to look after herself and only herself. Now looking next to normal, Jane has a lover and a job, but she hasn't lost her edge. It sharpens when she hears from her estranged family. So just a little backstory. The first book is Jane Doe, and Jane, it's all from Jane's perspective. Jane is actually a sociopath, and she has like no emotions. She doesn't know how to love. She doesn't feel any empathy for anybody or anything. And all that stems from her childhood, which was emotional abuse, and severe neglect. So she didn't have any, they say at one point, there's no incest going on, but she was sexually assaulted by a babysitter that was a man at one point. So she talks a lot about how she feels like in her head and stuff, is like she doesn't understand that, people love other people and things like that. And she does have some quite disturbing thoughts. Now, she had a best friend that she met at college who she hit it off with, and Jane all the time is pretending to be normal. Like she watches other people and she mimics what they do, and she tries to appear normal. But in her head, she's like, she doesn't feel anything. But she does get really close with this other girl, and she does become her best friend, and she does start dating a guy too and most of the time she just sleeps around. Like she just goes to a bar and picks up a guy and goes to their apartment or whatever, and they do their thing, and like she just doesn't even feel nothing. Like she's just like, okay, but she does like sex and she does like to eat. Now, since she was a child and severely neglected, she was a lot of times didn't have food and stuff. So she does like to eat. So those are her two pleasures in life that she allows herself. Now, in the first book, why she is picking this guy, Stephen, what has happened, and it tells you pretty early in the book, her best friend killed herself, and the reason was because she was dating this Stephen guy, and he treated her so bad, like pulling her in, pushing her out, and he was just really abusive. So now Jane is in his path, and he doesn't know who she is. Yeah. So our second book, Problem Child, her niece is missing, and she finds out through the grapevine, like, because she doesn't talk to her family anymore, but she finds out that her 16-year-old niece is missing, and she has heard that she's just like herself. So she feels like she needs to try to help find her. Even though she kind of could care less about any of her family, but something is telling her, to help look for her, and like, if she's like me, then maybe, we might have a kinship type thing. Yeah. But she does talk about how when she was a young child, like 3 and 4, she can remember being scared because her parents would leave her overnight by herself. Yeah. And she remembers being hungry and there's no food, and all that. But then she also remembers when her brain rewired itself to where now she doesn't feel anything. So, pretty interesting. And like I said, she does have some quite disturbing thoughts. And she's going to get revenge on Stephen. And I'm not going to say what she does, but she gets revenge. And then in the second book, I don't want to tell you a whole lot about it because I want you to read it. Together, really good. I recommend reading them, like read this one and then immediately read it on a Problem Child, because I just think it's better if you do it like that. But like, I have a really bad memory. Like, if a book wasn't that great, even if it is a sequel or whatever, here's Problem Child. If it didn't grab me and then I read like a few books between the two, then I won't enjoy it. But these two I read back to back and pretty good. 4.5 stars, and then 4 stars for this one. Look at her. Don't she look kind of evil? It's a different kind of book. I have never read anything by Victoria Helen Stone, so I'm going to look and see if she has more books. I know she does. I looked her up already. And the good news is these are on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, which I do, I pay $9.99 a month for it, and yeah, it's really good. Both of them are on Kindle Unlimited. Alright guys, that's all I got. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check back for more book videos coming up soon. Thanks, friends. I'll see you next time.